My chest has been the hardest muscle group to build. My chest was in the playground with the rest of the muscle groups, so it'd probably be the last one picked. Even in hands, it didn't help much until I started to do this. Here are some of the tips that I use to help build my stubborn chest. First things first. Always start your workout with the exercise that's gonna give you the greatest impact first. What I mean by that is the exercise that's gonna give you the most amount of muscle hypertrophy. If you're an advanced lifter, I would say starting off with incline dumbbell press. And if you're a beginner, or machine press, just like dumbbells, will allow you to get deep in the stretch, causing the greatest amount of muscle hypertrophy to help you build your stubborn chest. These exercises help target your upper chest and set the tone for the rest of your workout. So make sure you prioritize exercise selection. Tip number 2, utilize machines. Whether you're using the Smith machine or a machine press will allow you to focus entirely on the chest without worrying about stabilizing the weight. You literally just get in the machine, plant your feet, get your elbows stacking the joints, press the weight up, and the machine allows you to push to the limits and even right to failure. So the second that you can't push anymore, all you have to do is just let it go. Tip number 3, using partials. Partials can be a game changer when used correctly, but too often I see some mistakes when using partials. Number 1, using partials at the very beginning of your set. Utilize partials when you can't get your full range of motion. So when you're at the end of your set and you can't get the full range at the very end, then that's when we start to implement partials. And that's mistake number 2. As soon as we have these great reps where we're getting full range of motion, everything's under control, the second we add partials in, it becomes a race to the finish and then a possibly blown shoulder. Take your time with your partials, make them count. Keep them the exact same tempo as it was at the beginning of your set. If your first rep looks like this, control the bottom, your partial will look like this. And control until you can no longer finish a full rep, but we keep the tempo the exact same. Start using partials the right way and grow your chest more effectively.
Hey guys, before we continue with this video, I gotta make sure you guys are hydrated. Hydrated yet? Probably not. Check it out, I got answers for you. Guys, use my code JONNI10 for 10% off Amino Fast. Like what's Amino Fast? Guys, Amino Fast is gonna increase your overall performance, reduce muscle soreness, improve your hydration, and it's gonna prevent muscle cramps. And guess what? All our flavors taste amazing. So guys, again, use my code JONNI10, 10% off your next order of Amino Fast right now. Okay, back to the show.
That brings us to tip number 4. Keep your chest high. Keeping your chest high is going to allow us to have a greater overall range of motion, especially in the stretch. I like to give the analogy to pretend that you're doing an inverted row. We're doing our press, but on the way down, we're trying to keep our chest as high as we possibly can, pulling the weight down to us, which will give us a greater stretch at the bottom. Keeping your chest high for every exercise you do is going to help allow you to get your chest to grow that much more and have an overall better muscle-mind connection. So when you're pressing, keep that chest high. Tip number 5, milk that bottom stretch. Now we all know that the eccentric load is important, but also that bottom load or the stretch portion lift is going to be where we make the most amount of our gains. Milk the stretch. I would say staying around like a 1 to 2 second pause at the bottom will be plenty enough to stimulate some muscle growth. So utilizing machines or dumbbells will allow us to get extremely deep into that stretch part of the lift, stimulating the most amount of muscle growth. So, don't forget, use machines or dumbbells and milk that stretch and watch your chest grow. And tip number 6, save room for flies. I used to look at flies as just like accessory work. And what we can't get with our presses, we can finish with our flies. Now we can't progressive overload like we can with our presses, but when it comes to flies, Having the approach to make sure you're using a weight that you can strictly exhaust your muscle will be a good finisher for a great chest day. So make sure you save room for your flies. Whether you're using cables, pec deck, or even dumbbells, flies are quintessential for your overall chest growth. And that brings us to our last tip: be a minimalist. I used to do 4+ exercises in over 20 sets in one day. And it wasn't until I reduced my over amount of sets that I saw better gains. What I do, I keep it to 2 pressing exercises and 1 fly, and around 3 to 12 hard sets. So that can be a 15-degree dumbbell press followed by a 30-degree Smith machine press, and then maybe pec deck or cable flies. Simple and easy. This approach gives your chest plenty of time to rest and grow. Anyway, guys, I hope these tips can help you like they helped me. And until next time, you know how it is. Iron sharpens iron, progressive overload your life. In the meantime, keep dream chasing. Peace.